All right. Thanks for listening to your United Goalkeeping Alliance, the Goalkeepers podcast. Um, so today on the show, we have Brian Wilkin and Coach Brian, Player Brian. Please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're at and what do you do?
Yeah, thanks for having me, on your podcast. My name is Brian Wilkin. I've lived in Rochester, New York for my whole life. And recently I got a opportunity to play with Utica City, which is in the professional indoor league. And I moved out here for the season. But I'm excited to be on here and just kind of, discuss some of my knowledge and just some opportunities I've had in my soccer career.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Where are you originally from? How did you get started with soccer?
Yep. So, like I said, I'm from Rochester, New York. It's upstate. And my dad's side of the family is kind of really big into soccer. He had four brothers; they all played. So just soccer ball kind of fell at my feet at a young age, and I've kind of stuck with it. And I kind of think like a lot of us at the youth age, start at our local clubs, and then kind of progress from there. I played for Empire United, which was a big, travel club in upstate New York. Um, Won a few state cups, went to regionals, made it pretty close. But then I transitioned to high school for a little bit, played 3 years there, uh, won sectionals, won regionals, and then lost in the state finals. And then I kind of transitioned into college. Um, I wanted to play somewhere where I could, grow my game and kind of continue after college and, try and play all 4 years. And I was lucky to have the opportunity at Nazareth College, which is in upstate New York, Division III college on the smaller side, I would say. And, I was kind of surrounded by a good coaching staff and, we kind of gelled together a good culture and turned the program around. In my junior and senior year, senior year, we won the conference. My junior year, we lost in the conference final. And senior year, we moved on to the NCAA, which is, a big opportunity, for all the conferences to, showcase their talent and, bring a championship back home to their school.
So now, how did that transition for you happen from college player to coach? What bug bit you? How did you know you wanted to get into coaching? And were you always a goal? Did you grow up playing goalkeeper exclusively? Were you always a goalkeeper?
Yeah. So at the age of 11, say 11, yeah, I was always a field player until then. And, I always wanted to play goalie, but my mom kind of didn't want that responsibility of me, probably going to the emergency room with, broken bones or stitches in my face. And, I kind of kept bugging her. And, luckily, one of my friends, his team needed a goalkeeper. And I was like, hey, why not try? If it's not for me, I stick to the field. And it kind of just, it stuck from there. I'm blessed and gifted with a lot of athleticism, and I think that's what helped me. Just being a goalie, and then in one of my youth clubs, I had a good goalkeeper coach who kind of developed me and allowed me to continue playing at the college level. So
No,
good. And
that's fantastic.
mhm.
That's
and
fantastic. Go ahead.
yeah, and then kind of the transition into coaching. Um, I kind of wanted to stay in the college environment after I graduated, and I was lucky enough to join RIT, which is a bigger Division III school who plays in a pretty tough conference. And I knew the head coach, so he brought me on staff, and I kind of went from there. And he had some other opportunities that led into youth club coaching as well. So I kind of give him a shout out for allowing me to have those opportunities and to, jump into the college level, I would say at a young age as a coach.
Now, now, and how did you? Now, you still play? Do you currently play?
Yep, yeah. So I actually play in the MASL, which is Major Arena Soccer League. It has about 14 or 12 teams in it, across the nation. And, it was kind of an opportunity that fell into my hands, honestly. There's a team in my hometown, Rochester, New York, the Rochester Lancers. And, after my college career, I stepped right into it, tried out, and, the coach liked what I presented to them. And, it's a different game than the outdoor. So it's a huge learning curve, from the outdoor game. So, that's kind of where I am today. And I was lucky enough to get loaned out to Utica City for this year. The Rochester team had a few, problems finding a stadium to play in and just coaching staff with COVID. It's a big kind of mess, but I'm lucky to get picked up by Utica and still continue to play.
How do you manage that? How do you manage playing, coaching? There has to be a big balancing act between both. Obviously, wherever you go, whatever you do, you want to give your 100%. So how does that look like for you? How does that work for you?
Yeah, so in Rochester is a little different. It was kind of based on local talent that, those players still kind of had that professional level, technique, mindset, soccer IQ. And we would practice, 9 at night to usually 10:30 at night. So it was a little bit of a grind and sacrifice to, give up that time when people had families and kids, and you had to devote that time to be a professional. But at Utica, we practiced 9 a.m. to 11, which is a little bit better. And we practice every single day, and we got a good sports medicine guy and therapist, on the sideline who takes care of our bodies. It's a crucial game indoors. A lot of more movement. You're on your feet a lot more, and that's a big part of it, is to be able to stick around in this league for multiple years and just treating your body right. And that's something I'm learning. I'm still young, so my body kind of gives a little more, but I think they don't people don't realize the brutal impact that indoor plays on your body. But I couldn't be thankful enough to be still playing.
Now, how you're young, right? You're a
Mm-hmm.
younger coach. How do you how do you build your coaching philosophy? How do you build your personal coaching idea? How is that happening for you? Um, in between the posts, even on the field,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do to grow in that way from an educational piece as a coach?
Yeah. So if you look at it more as a goalkeeping aspect, I think the game over the past few years has revolved, in a keeper standpoint. A lot, you look at, the Prem, or, even the MLS now, it's growing a little bit bigger. You look at these keepers, and not only can they have great saving abilities, but, being able to use their feet tremendously is a huge, look at coaches now for going into college or even playing professional. So I kind of adapt that into my training sessions. I like to do a lot of passing and receiving, and just other little drills that improve uh, being technical with your feet. But I'm still young, so my ears are always open. I learn from the most experienced coaches that are around me, and I kind of bring that into my philosophies, and design sessions around that.
It's always great to hear that perspective from other coaches. Obviously, I'm learning myself. I always
Mm-hmm.
continue learning. So, awesome to hear that. Now, um, United Goalkeeping Alliance. How did you join? Why did you join?
Yeah, so it's actually a funny story. So my goalkeeper coach in college, Marcelo Moreira, who is a part of the Goalkeeper Alliance, he I helped him out with his training sessions for a club he coaches in New York, and I would drive with him to training sessions, and he just always talked about this, and I was like, let me get into this. It sounds like an awesome opportunity. And so it went from there, and I got in touch with Eric, and he's a great guy, and things kind of just clicked from there, and it's an awesome uh, development opportunity for kids and even coaches. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Now you're going to be talking to us about transitioning from the indoor to the outdoor, outdoor, indoor.
Hmm.
Is there a big difference? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah. So I mean, indoor, like I said, you're gonna touch the ball probably 95% of the time. Um, you know, there's a decent amount of action, but if you look at the stats, and you're going to be touching the ball a lot. And then I would say angle play is probably a huge transition from indoor to outdoor, just because the field is so much bigger, and you're not going to see a cross from indoor. It's more playing off the boards, or if you're playing futsal, tight areas that you got to be you know communicating to your defenders on positioning, and setting yourself up to make the save. So I'd say those are the big transitions from indoor to outdoor. And I'm excited to work with the other coaches who I'm presenting with, just to see what they have to say, and just other philosophies and methodologies. So
All right. So, school me a little bit on Major Arena
soccer
Soccer
league.
League,
Yep.
MASL. Um, how many teams are in the league approximately, and what kind of field is it? Is it a turf field? You said you use boards.
Hmm.
So I have my own concept of what it is or what it was, right? I used to go to the Philadelphia Kicks games all the time here in
Hmm.
Philadelphia. Obviously, they don't exist anymore,
Yep.
but um, certainly Baltimore has a huge team down there, and they have been pretty much rolling through. I believe they've been in existence the whole time. So, Major Arena Soccer League, what's it about? How many teams? Tell me about it.
Yep. So the MASL, I believe there's 12 teams. It's broken into East and West Coast. Um, and on the East Coast, there's my team Utica, Baltimore, Harrisburg, Florida Tropic. Um, then I believe St. Louis is on the East Coast, and then you got a few on the West Coast as well. But it's an exciting game. If you want a good atmosphere, and just a good night out, it's I would suggest finding a city that you're local by, and attend a game. We play in usually like hockey arenas, so there's glass and there's boards that keep the ball in play, and they just lay artificial turf over the ice, and you got yourself arena soccer. Um, but the rules are a little different. There's a huge goalkeeper rule change this year. The goalkeeper can only touch the ball once um, from their teammates, and then after that, they can't touch the ball until the other team, takes possession of it, or there's a shot off the boards, and then goalkeeper can get another touch in it, which I think will speed up the game a lot more. Teams in Milwaukee, they're really good at it by keeping the other team on. They get a shot and they play the keeper back. They can change, get fresh legs on, and keep the ball for a long time, which is a huge advantage for keeping teams on, and trying to break them down when their legs are getting heavy and they're on for 2 minutes plus. Um, so I think that's going to be interesting to see how it is this year.
So, I'm just thinking about sports in general. For the most part, when there are rule changes like this, it's to increase that speed of play and to promote that
Hmm.
attacking soccer, attacking play.
Correct.
Will that help? And how does it affect goalkeepers? Like, if we were to implement something like that outdoor, how would it help would it help hinder goalkeepers?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be tougher for teams that rely on their goalkeeper to, be on the ball a lot. Um, but the teams that have, strong defenders and can break out, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So, different teams have different styles in the league, and, they're going to have to change up their style of play maybe, and, you know, maybe bring in a few more defenders just that they're comfortable on the ball so they can break out of their own end and, not get caught with it. So,
Yeah, and like this is not a commercial for the league at all. I just happen to like love soccer and love futsal, indoor,
mm-hmm,
outdoor. I love going to different venues and having been part of the atmosphere. I remember what it was when the kicks were around, and it was a great atmosphere. There was a lot of action and it was just fun. So
yep,
definitely Brian, if there is, look it up, MASL, and look up to see if there's a team in your town or somewhere locally,
mm-hmm,
and go watch a game. Go watch a game, and it's relatively inexpensive.
mm-hmm,
It's a lot less even than like a major league soccer game or something. So, I would definitely check that out. Now, again, so Brian's going to be presenting in December. And he was just talking about the biggest differences with indoor outdoor. Now, you're talking about angle play, right? Obviously, the angles are going to be different. The spacing's different. There's the boards.
mm-hmm.
Um, how about playing out of the back, throwing? How does that change? Is there a difference? Can you throw off the boards?
Yep. So in indoor soccer, if the ball goes out of play, say for a goal kick, we instead of the ball starting on the ground for a goal kick inside or on your 6 yard box, the referee hands us the ball and we start possession from our hands. Um, so with the ball at your feet, if you're uh, in your own final third, defensive third, I would say, you can't kick the ball over the 3 lines, or it's a free kick on top of the box. But if it's out of your hands, you can throw all 3 lines. So that's definitely an advantage for goalkeepers to, usually have the ball in their hands to throw, throw off the boards into someone running into space. Um, it it kind of keeps the fans on their toes, us on our toes. Is anything off the boards, you really don't know where it's going to go. So I think that's a huge difference from indoor to outdoor soccer. And then, you know, it's you got to really be accurate with your throws because it's a small arena. It's not like you can throw it down the field and have someone really, run 15 yards and into open space onto the ball. Tight, tight, and you gotta be accurate with your throws, and you kind of have to think fast because things close down really fast.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and and we appreciate that we have like we have three pros in the alliance, right? Three pros, not people that almost made it, but people that made it. So players that made it. So that's actually pretty cool, and they will be presenting in December. Um, and again, right, we could keep talking about this, talking about all the rules changes, all the different lines, and all the stuff that could happen off the boards. However, you're gonna have to watch Brian's presentation in December. So Brian, do you want to leave us with anything? As we're winding down, is there anything we have? Give us something to look forward to. Any parting comments?
Yeah, so got our home opener December 5th against Florida Tropics. All the games are live streamed on YouTube. So if you go to MASL on YouTube, you can find previous games that happen or past games that happen, and then games that are going to be coming up. So I highly suggest tuning in and seeing what it's all about, and hopefully become a fan. And for all the young keepers, maybe this is something you do down the road. So always chase your dreams, I would say, and you never know where you're going to end up.
No, that's very, very cool. And the three pros we have is obviously Coach Brian, Coach Matt Perella, and William. Um, what was his Benzelia? Um, so we have three different coaches that play in the MASL. Check out that YouTube channel. Check out the league. And again, Coach Brian just said it right. You never know where you're going to end up, and this is a very very viable option for everybody who wants to go pro and have a good time playing. So Coach, thanks for hanging out with us. We look forward to your presentation, and we will see you soon.